Okay, let's continue our conversation with Brian.
How did you end up here in Marcuria?
That's quite a story. I won't bore you with the details, but suffice it to say, I was always somewhat of an adventurer. The promise of virgin territory untouched by civilization held great sway with me in my youth, as did the idea of a highly spiritual state of mind, the occult, magic, karma. I was born in 1902 in Boston. By the time I was 17, I'd put that life behind me. I spent the next 3 years at sea, and then I wandered around Europe for a time. In the early 30s, the 1930s, of course, I found myself in India working as a journalist. That's where I met Manny, and that's where I first heard of Arcadia. I was amazed and quite skeptical at first, but the thought of a whole new world to see and magic... I was a fool, of course, but who knew where my curiosity would bring me?
So what happened in India?
I've tried to forget about it, to be honest. If I could go back and convince myself not to... but I still wouldn't have listened, of course. The unknown attracts. I ended up in Tibet in the winter of 34, wading through snow up to my chest, thinking for sure that this was it. I was going to die. Manny pulled me out of that one, thank God. I spent 3 months in a monastery before pushing on into the void. There's only one way for a non-shifter to pass through the divide, and it's not an easy road to take. Now, if you don't mind, I'd prefer not to talk about the past anymore. There's more than enough to worry about in the present.
I should get going.
Very well. You're welcome back at any time, Miss Ryan. Any time.
Thank you, sir. I'll remember that.
Take another shot. Okay. Well, this time we will remember to get his signature.
Sign this, please. It's just to confirm that I made the delivery.
Certainly.
Alright. Well, guess we'll go back to our next delivery then.
Hold on 1 second, Miss Ryan. I just remembered something. It's such a long time ago, I'd almost forgotten, but Manny did give me something that might be of interest.
What is it?
It's a pocket watch. Manny gave it to me the last time I saw him. I never quite understood why, but maybe you can tell me.
Did he say anything about it?
He said that when his heart started beating again, he would know. It would be like a message in Morse code, a beacon. Damn watch never worked, and the winding mechanism is broken, so it's probably not worth much. You're welcome to it if it's any help.
Thanks.
So we have pocket watch.
It's an antique pocket watch. It's not ticking. The knob used for winding the watch seems to have broken off, and there's only a tiny hole left.
Let's see. Would this work? Ah.
If I insert this pin carefully into the hole, like so, and then slowly wind it... It worked! It's ticking!
Aha.
I did it! It's a shift! I can go home!
By God, it's a shift. I haven't seen one for ages.
Why don't you come back with me, Mr. Westhouse? You could say hello to your old friend, Manny.
If I tried to step through that, Miss Ryan, I would suffer a most unpleasant experience. And I would be lost in the between forever. Besides, I built this house with my own 2 hands. I wouldn't want to leave it to these barbarians. And what does your Stark have to offer me? This world is more recognizable to me now. No, you go ahead, Miss Ryan. Go back. And don't let your curiosity of the unknown tempt you into making another shift.
Thanks for your help.
Say hello to Manny for me. Tell him I'm doing all right. And then I said, thanks.
Cortez. Oh, God, it's real. It's all true. I saw it. I saw the other world. Arcadia. Either I'm going crazy or you were right about everything.
Let's hope for the latter, mi amiga? So I gather your trip was a success.
Success? My whole world has been turned topsy-turvy, so I don't think success is the right word. Nothing about it makes sense. The fact is, I don't believe in magic.
The sun does not need you to believe in it to rise in the morning, señorita. You have seen the truth with your own 2 eyes. I can do nothing more to convince you. It is up to you now.
Well, do I have a choice? I have to believe at least some of it. My life wouldn't make much sense otherwise.
You are a true skeptic, April. Está bien. We need your kind to balance the hopeless romantics like myself.
Yes, what happens now?
What happens now?
The Minstrom told you about the balance, about Stark and Arcadia.
A man named Tobias. He was called the Vestrum, I think. Vestrum Tobias.
Ah, so Tobias made Vestrom. Que bien, good. I knew he would go far when I first met him years ago. He was just an Instrum then, a student of the balance, but he was smart and resourceful. So you know what is going on with the balance.
Tobias told me that the Guardian was missing and that the balance was failing. He said this would bring chaos into both worlds.
As we are already seeing, your dreams, your nightmares, they are part of these. You sense chaos more keenly than most, but even they are beginning to notice that things are not as they should be. Like last night.
What about last night?
What you saw, you were not alone this time. There were others, and they saw the same thing. Not nightmares anymore. Real. The first sign of the damage chaos can do. The divide is being breached. It is not yet time for the worlds to be united. A breach could prove catastrophical.
Okay, I'm going to end this video here, and we'll continue our conversation with Cortez in the next video.